Right, and we are off. Beanie blessings. Welcome to Deadpan Dope Tuesdays with me, Deadpan Lizzie, the Beanie God. This will be recorded on Facebook and YouTube. If you don't want to be seen or heard, please mute your mic and turn your camera off. Please unmute yourself if you do read and mute when you're not. Sharing and offering out of consideration for fellow artists. This is a mic for all mediums and beanies. For those who don't know me, I'm an author, realtor, and a full-time lesbian here in New York City. I really only have one rule here. You can't be a jerk. So no hate speech or bullying. If I hear or see any of that tonight, you're going to get the boot. No questions asked. This is a brave space. Like me, many of us have parallel careers and are just here to unwind after a long day's work. So please leave the crappy attitudes and the beef behind before entering the space. I don't believe in content or trigger warnings, given life is one. But if you feel the need to do that, please go ahead. Each artist will have 4 to 5 minutes to share. Okay. I think we're just going to do one round tonight, but if I have it in me, we will do a second. If you haven't already, let me know. If you want to share an offering, let me know in the chat or send me a DM in the chat and I'll add you to the list. The list is in the chat and I'll always announce who's on deck. To learn more about me, my poetry collections, what I do, you can follow me at Elizabeth Sophia Strauss, PHIA.com or my IG ES_Strauss. And if you want to learn more about Red or Green Books, which is Marissa Prada's publishing house, who's our executive producer here at Word is Right, please give her a follow at The Word is Right or Red or Green Books or Prada Painting and Poetry on IG. All right, before we begin the open mic tonight, we will do our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 meditation. This will help bring you into the space and be present. We're going to refocus your senses to stay in the moment. We'll keep ourselves on mute, but please feel free to say these aloud to yourself if you choose to. All right, so the first thing, and if not for the first one, but for 4, 3, 2, 1, if you want to close your eyes, please feel free to do so. But not for the first one. So the first one, what are 5 things you can see? Just 5 things you can see in front of you. You can see all your cameras off. You can see my iPhone. You can see my own reflection on the screen. And my inbox. I can see a pen in front of me. What are 5 things you can currently see? What are 4 things you can touch? 4 things you can touch, and this is where I invite you if you choose to close your eyes. I'm going to touch your chest, touch your heart. That helps. I'm touching my chest, so that's one thing I can touch. I can feel my heartbeat. I can feel the carpet under me. Feel the blankets on my lap. I feel my fleece sweatshirt. There are 4 things you can touch, 4 things we can touch. There are 3 things you can hear. Hear the wind picking up outside. You can hear a buzz in my AirPods. Hear the silence in the room. What are 2 things you can smell? 2 things you can smell. I can't smell anything right now, but I'm a little stuffy. What are 2 things you can smell? One thing you can taste or feel. You can taste the lemon water I've been drinking. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste or feel. Okay? Helps hopefully centers you in the space and your own thoughts and your body. So thank you for doing that with me. All right. I'm going to drop the list one more time in the chat. On deck, we got Chris Moore, but please welcome to the mic now from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is a part of the Guerrilla Poets there, my friend Nemo Soom.
Thank you, Lizzie. Great to be here. I have prepared a micro triptych, which includes something that actually I just wrote in the pop-up workshop. He sits up there in his goddamn chair, scrawling notes in his notebook, his pen scratching frantically every time I act, every time I move, every time I do something that matters. Now he's stuffing pages into the feeder, and the fax machine in the corner screeches and beeps, while pages littered with his hurried hand fall into piles to be sorted later when I'm trying to sleep. I must have caught it from just the right angle, turned a bit faster than I was meant to, and I saw the seam just behind her ear. And when she turned back, I realized that her eyes were different colors, always had been. I'd just been too distracted to notice before. And her cheeks were different sizes, attached by pipes of different sizes. The one that held the upper portion of the left side of her face was polished chrome. It laced in and out of copper and iron and some polymer they make in some chemical plant in a dark corner of where my bad brain lives. When she spoke again, the telltale ticking of her tongue betrayed the words that left her mouth were just an echo of something once said, once heard, and somewhere recorded to be remembered later. There were banners of red and gold draped on the backs of the elephants now marching down the street in a grand parade. One particular pachyderm pauses, then stops, its foot in midair, now motionless, as its rider slides down its back to bang his fists on clockwork innards until the animal moves again. Thank you.
Yeah, Nemo. Oh, I'm so glad you were able to create something for tonight, man. That was cool.
It was gorgeous. I love all the metaphors in there. I love the anecdotes of Poe in there. I'm a big Poe fan. I appreciated that. It was lovely. I'm so glad you could do that with the Open Minds pop-up that was earlier today. Thomas, who is the producer and MC, is here, and we'll hear from him later this evening. Welcome to our space. That was lovely, Nemo. Thank you so much. I love your micro triptych.
And thank you again, Thomas, for the workshop. It was awesome.
Awesome. Glad our community is staying strong. Well, thank you, Nemo. I know you got a feature with Rich Boucher here on March 25th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss that. They're both incredible poets and two of the most charming men I have ever met. So you will want to sign into Zoom for that here, word is right, on Saturday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But anything else you got coming up?
Who, me? Sorry. No.
No, is there another Nemo?
Nope, just this one as far as I know, so far. But yeah, no, you covered it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So go support Nemo and Rich Boucher March 25th and the Guerrilla Poets and all the other amazing things they do. And Nemo also on his Instagram, Nemo_Soom_words. If you click the link there, you can check out his book. You get a digital copy of his wonderful book. So please go support. Other than sometimes you can catch him at the New York Poets Cafe online. So check him out there too. I can see her blushing. I enjoy making Carolina poets blush. It's a fun hobby of mine. All right, thank you, Nemo. All right, we're gonna keep going. On deck, we got Nick P. But coming to the mic now, he is a producer here at Word is Right. He has one of my favorite poets, Tomorrow Night, featuring K.R. Morrison on his show. More poetry at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. He also has his podcast, Poetic Robin Hood, that you can check out on any platform you can find a podcast, and his own press, Prometheus Quarterly, where he's putting his first zine out, and he has his new book out now, which you can check out on Amazon. So please welcome to the mic, Christopher Moore.
Thanks, Lizzie, for doing all my promotions for me. Now I can save my voice.
A good producer is always happy to promote the artist.
Okay, so I only have, I guess I can do two, even though they're old poems. This one is called These Poems Are Not For You. No, these poems are not for you. They are not for the unrequited crush. They are not for the absent-minded family member. They are not for the random friend I have. These poems are not for you. These poems are for my soul. They are me, myself, and I, all wrapped into one consciousness. They are not for the open mic poets, nor do they exist to shock open mic hosts. I iterate once again, no, these poems are not for you. And this last one is Mind in Rain Clouds. Fuzziness when trying to think. My mind is stuck in rain clouds, while others enjoy a sunny day at the beach I somehow lost directions to, perhaps. Caffeine and carbohydrates cannot fill the void when I circle amongst the clouds. Won't you join me in the rain clouds, or do you prefer your tints of gray? Thank you.
I love that first piece. That was so good.
Thanks.
That's beautiful, Chris, and I love the titles in there. It's very moving, so thank you for sharing that with us. I did do all his promotions currently, but he does have a new book out, Prometheus Heart, and you can get that on Amazon. And Shane Maynor did the cover art for that. So anything else I didn't say you want to say?
Well, I am looking for new features since I decided to do second and fourth Wednesday now for features instead of just the second Wednesday for features. So I do need to find more. No pun intended.
I mean, I like that there was a little pun intended. Keeps life.
I'm full of horrible puns.
They weren't horrible.
My
You like
life
that
is a
last
horrible
name.
pun.
No. Well, anyway, check out his show here on Word is Right tomorrow night. He's got the amazing K.R. Morrison featuring. I love her dearly. She is an amazing poet, so you don't want to miss that. And respectfully, there's that word. Respectfully, reach out to Chris and send him a DM if you would like to feature on Word is Right. Okay, respectfully reach out to Chris. So thank you so much,
And also
Chris.
the podcast too, as well.
In the podcast. And again, respectfully reach out to Chris about featuring on the podcast or on more poetry of Word is Right. All right. Thank you, Chris. All right. On deck, we have Shocky G, but please welcome to the mic now. I call him my twisted twin because he is. He is a producer and host here at Word is Right as well. He switches off with Chris Moore every first and third Wednesdays of the month. He's got his Right to the Mic show. It is actually one of the flagship shows here at Word is Right. He's one of the first producers and MCs. He does a fabulous offline workshop at 8 p.m. where he is the prompt master. He gives wonderful prompts. We write for an hour and then we go live with the mic at 9 p.m. And of course, you don't have to read what you wrote in the workshop, but it's always more fun to share it, but you can bring whatever you want. He has a wonderful book with Better Green Books out, Ad versus Reaction. If you have not got your copy, reach out to him and get that. It is a gorgeous collection. And He's my brother, and I love him so much, and he lives right across the river from me. So please welcome my brother, Nicholas Paleologos.
Hi. What up, people? Yeah, that's a great intro right there. It's probably better than any intro I've probably ever get in my lifetime. That, props to you right there. Yeah, I like this space so far. All right, I can go on and on for days, and that'll be my 5 minutes. So let's get to some poems for me and everything, and I'll go into other things that I got going on too. I got two tonight. One is really new. Actually, it's like I wrote this one a couple days ago and actually never presented it. And the other one is an old one from my book. Here's the first one. These visions are acoustic horror melodies played to the tune of tinnitus. Constant, never ends of the thread, sewn is the quilt, blanketed a body in spite of escape. Hope is the worst. It'll tell you to daydream of times when the body was alive. It'll tell you you can escape whenever you want. Here's the key. Unlock the door. See what's on the other side. It's more of the same hell, same channel, same tune. Drugs will make you see euphoria. Selfish of them. They didn't tell you where in the universe you are. They'll simulate every outcome, every time you are the knife, every time you're held against the knife. Even a crack of sunshine is a way out of the cavern of the mind. He never takes it. Maybe one day he will. Don't count on it, though. He'll never escape his own delusions if he doesn't move his body. And then from one heavy one to a much more lighter one from my book right here. And I'll certainly drop the info and everything of how you can get that and everything. This one I haven't read in a while. When Comets Cry. When I peer into your eyes, why does your galaxies cry? Instead of seeing stars and meteors fly by, they leak out your eyes. I will wipe them away as we clutch together, turning sadness into supernova. I am sure your trials have been deeper than black holes could understand. Your shoulders, colder than Neptune. Your pain as gigantic as Jupiter. Your rage vast as Mars. Are you feeling excluded like Pluto? Well, you are a planet amongst the system. Show yourself some love like Venus. Invest within as Mercury does. It's okay if you spin differently like Uranus. You clutch so tightly to yourself. You hold plenty of pain from these years. Release yourself. Take time to heal. Ground yourself to the earth. Take a breath in and out. Open your eyes and repeat after me. It's going to be okay.
It is going to be okay.
It will
It's
definitely
beautiful.
be okay. One day. One day I'll be okay.
One day it will be okay.
One
I
day.
believe it. One day.
Definitely.
Thank you, Nick. It was beautiful. Thank you for sharing both of those. Your work is always so powerful. So thank you for being in the
Yeah,
space
thank you
with
so
us.
much, man. That was great. I love that second piece too. That was so good.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all very much. I also want to say I am going to be featuring for VA Africa on Friday. So it's at 2:00 East Coast time. So if you're not, I know it's afternoon time for some of y'all and earlier in the morning for some of y'all, but if you're not doing anything, come through. I'll drop the details and everything like that into the chat and everything too, and we'll go from there and everything, and also you can get my book and everything too. Great space, Lizzie. Keep it up. Have her, and I'll be here. I'll be here. Peace, y'all.
Thank you, Nick. I'm hopefully going to see you in a couple weeks. I'll keep you posted about that. I'm trying. But yes, beautiful work. Thank you. Support him at his feature that's coming up. I'll drop that in the chat, and you can follow him on IG, The Real Nick P. Yeah, for more on that. That's probably the best place to find that information for those watching live. IG, The Real Nick P. So go give him a follow and keep up with all of his fabulous things. And yes, buy a copy of that book, Adverse's Reaction. It's part of Red Green Books. He is a part of the next 10, and it's a beautiful collection. So thank you, Nick. All right. On deck, we have Thomas from Open Minds, but please welcome to the mic now. She is the producer and host of the Out Loud LGBTQ podcast here at Word is Right. She's also a part of that collection where the podcast comes from. And I also just saw in a Facebook memory today that we put out the call today for the anthology 1 year ago today. So what a blessing that is. And I can't believe it's actually been a year since we just put the calls out for that anthology. And now it's out in the world. And she also on Fridays is going to be doing a Black History Month show here at Word is Right. So please welcome to the mic, Shaki G.
Hi. I'm gonna do two pieces. If I can get through them quick. The first one is called Ode to Pillows. Ode to the pillows that become sponges when eyelids pour open like levees. To the pillows that accept hugs tighter than chokeholds, that become punching bags, able to take a hit, without breaking a fist. To all the pillows of my youth, full of fight, but never flight, I have never had a pillow become an explosion of feathers the way they do in movies. But in my cousin's hands, could feel like a ton of bricks to a bottom lip when a lesson on snitching is needed. The lessons I have learned crying into a pillow, hoping I could stuff my pain inside its edges. How they held my secrets like lock and key. To the pillows that never complain about being little spoon, as if they know I hate being big spoon. Used to a double dipped kind of love. Knows that my heart is the empty bowl at the party, unable to give anything to cover the chip on your shoulder. Somehow, pillow whispers you're better off without her. Pretends it is all the replacement I need. Like the bed is not a constant reminder of lonely and nightmare. Ode to both sides of the pillow because I usually find myself most comfortable with the less cool. Pillows full of memory while I try to forget. To the pillows that remind me, it is okay to be soft in a hard world, as long as you hold the head up and support your dreams. I hear you, and I am trying. And the second one is called Pepper Grinder. I sat at the kitchen table, grinding peppercorns that I didn't need, just to see something feel like me. So broken it becomes sand or pepper. Maybe at one point this is what home felt like. Before I pretended shatter was not my final form, believed I could be put back together again, as if I were ever whole. How I still loved pestle and mortar because they were the only things willing to touch this peppercorn body. I remember the grinding. Feels a lot like now. Between rock and hard place, the grains become powder. At what point do I become so small I no longer exist?
Yeah, Shaki. Whew.
Thanks, Shaki.
Wow.
Appreciate your work. And that's her new logo for her new website. So check out her new website if you haven't yet and get your merch and all her book and all that stuff. Do you want to talk about the show you have coming up for Black History Month? And happy Black History Month, everyone.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay. Well, Black History Month show with Shaki G here at Word is Right, February 10th. It's featuring AJ Houston and Zonkanto. So go if you're free, go support them, those artists. And AJ also is a part of Red Green Books. Him and his son collaborated on the launch. I'm a part of the Fierce 15, so you can check out their book on redgreenbooks.com. And it's a beautiful tribute dedicated to their wives. So it's a very lovely book about their partners. What time on Friday, Shaki?
It's at 9 p.m. so that I could go to Open Minds first.
That's very considerate of you. All right. Well, thank you, Shaki. Check out all the stuff that Shaki does. And speaking of open minds, well, on deck we got my karaoke wife, Tara Rose Jertson. But speaking of open minds, I think this might be his first time at Deadpan Dope. I can't remember. He's been to Where He's Right, but I think it's his first time here. He hosts a fabulous workshop and open mic on Fridays, Eastern Standard Time. I know he's in Mountain Time, but Eastern Standard Time for our followers. He is a part of the Beanie Mafia. That's why he's got a beanie on his head. And he's just a fun guy. He's a wonderful person in our community as well as his wife. So please welcome to the mic now, Thomas.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's nice to see you guys. Thanks for showing up to the pop-up workshop earlier. I appreciate that, man. We had some good times. I'm actually going to read two pieces. This one I wrote a little bit ago. I've only performed it one other time, and then I'm going to read what we wrote at the workshop. So this one's to my father. It's called Thomas Ralph Colvin III. I am the fourth. Thomas, my name and his, fondness, lies, shame, and kids. You know, I never really met him. Few grow clever, simply yet grim, nightmares creeping in from my past, somewhere sleeping in, numb, cry, laugh, past time, like this blunt and bottle of gin, glass, lime, Mike Bliss Hunt, hand throttled to sin. Been 38 years, skin dry, dirty, hate tears, too salty. Often think why assault me? Postmortem drink, die so-called free. Your children left behind, I guess the joke's on me. I bless the folks I see. Who expect the best from me? Hole in my soul, I filled the void. Stroll through this scroll, I killed the boy. He who behold, he who destroy. I'm not who he was, I'm one to deploy. He got what he wants. I'm done. Now joy. And then this next one is actually a combination of the two word trees that we built, storm and umbrella, and I kind of just mushed them together. Look towards the sky, rain in my eyes, shook chords from high, loud rumble in my mind. My childhood wasn't the best, cold and lone. My manhood light up the rest, fire deadly and old. Destruction reigns supreme, dreams stuck like debris, dysfunction and carnage, darkness is what it seems. Gentlemen they call me, friendly and calming, falling with velocity I gently land, darling. This revolution keeps spinning, even when no one's winning. His solution seeps carefree from his lips, dancing. A stoic memory drifts from you to me, gifts only we can see, a heroic soul, sensory overload. Life lifts us higher than you need to be. Thank you. Yeah, and check us out on Friday. We're doing a showcase for the PNG virtual book tour, Kaleidoscope. So yeah, a couple of the PNG people will be there. So check us out. I'll drop some info in the chat for everybody. And yeah, thanks for listening.
That's very
Love
nice
those
you're doing that.
pieces.
Yeah, they were lovely. Did and it's nice that you were able to do a pop-up for the community tonight. So glad that was able to be done. Thank you, Thomas. So happy you're here tonight and you're part of the Beanie Mafia. And I hope I get to meet you this summer when I get up to Canada. Hopefully I'll keep you posted, but hopefully I get to meet you and your lovely wife. Check out all he does. If you're not going to open minds on Friday, do it. It's a fun, cool mic. Yeah. So follow them on IG, Open Minds, Open Mic. I think that's their handle. But yeah, thank you so much, Thomas. All right, I'm gonna keep going. On deck, we got Marissa Prada, but please welcome to Mike now. I call her my karaoke wife because she is actually our newest karaoke host here at Warriors Right. On the last Saturdays of the month, she will be hosting karaoke, which I'm assuming won't be live streamed for copyright reasons.
Yeah, starting in April.
Starting in April. But do join. She's a wonderful karaoke host. We've gotten to do karaoke together, not just on Zoom, but in person at the New Rican, which is fun. And she's also a part of Red or Green Book. She's got a beautiful collection with the Fierce 15, the Chameleon Chronicles. I very much enjoyed it, so I highly recommend you purchase a copy from her and give it a review on Goodreads if you haven't. So if you're familiar with Goodreads, head there, give her a review. There it is. That beautiful cover by Shane Manor. There you go. Please welcome to the mic now, Terry Rose Jurison.
I have no plan, so if someone want to shoot me a number, and I'll just go to that number in my book, and I will read the poem.
49.
69.
Wait a minute. Let me mute the friends
Here,
show.
we'll do
All right,
49 because I always say 69, so we'll do 49 to be nice.
49. Is that the number? 49?
Yes, it can be 49.
Okay, let's see. What's it say? What's it say? What's it say? I don't even know what it says myself. Hang on. 49. Okay. Little bird. Little bird, where are you going after you leave your first home? Will you fly off to start great adventures or remain hidden, refusing to roam? Will you meet your partner for life or will you cower and die alone? No, spreading your wings to rise to astonishing heights. That is my prayer for you every night. Little bird, your mama knew when it was time for you to soar. She gave you that push you didn't ask for. Say another number.
Woo! Go with 69 next.
69. I used to say that was my favorite number. Once upon a time. Okay, here we go. Well, 69 is part of 68, so sorry, I have to go back to 68 and go into 69. That sounds kind of, forget, I just said that. Okay, on forgiveness. I forgive the guy who cut me off in the parking lot of the Wawa, who I gave the middle finger to today. My husband, who has made a lifetime out of forgetting everything I ask him not to do. For the 22-year-old revoked license, non-insurance driving man-child who did not notice that there were two cars stopped in front of him and as a result careened at 100 miles per hour into the back of my car with me and my husband inside. My husband, who was just cleared to go back to work after 6 months and 3 months of physical therapy, now needs another 3 months of therapy. 4, for my insurance company for initially telling me that I was not insured for this type of accident. 5, the lawyer that told me he would give me just as much attention to my case as the other $1 million cases. 6, the second lawyer who told me I could call her anytime and after 4 phone calls later still has not called me back. 7, the DVR worker who I got through unemployment to help my husband find a job, who said to me, she was not a concierge service when I asked her to follow along with my husband for his first day on the job. 8, again, for the same woman who said there was follow-along services, and once my husband acquired a job, called him a week later to say she could no longer see him because her boss told her. In reality, it was because the job was not a $7 an hour part-time job. It was a $15 an hour full-time job with benefits. And she was tired of being called on her shit. 9, for myself because I cry and then I get angry and then I cry and I will tell anyone who is willing to listen why I am sad, depressed, or anxious. 10, I forgive 2020, 2021, and 2022 for being shit years in which I had vacation plans to see my family ruined, hundreds of dollars lost, for the time I will never get back again, and for the people who died I will never see again. 11, I further forgive the years of COVID and pandemic because I began to write poetry and found myself again when I never realized I was lost. 12, I forgive my parents who did the best they could at the time of my youth when they were in the Battle of the Roses. 13, I forgive that priest who told me that everything I was taught for the past 9 years of parochial school was a matter of interpretation. This sent me on a downward spiral due to my entire belief system being shit canned. 14, I forgive the 2 sponsors that I tried to work on my recovery with. The first one who said she literally did not remember how to do step work, and the second who had a temper of a psychopath when triggered and unleashed it on me. 15, I forgive my children for being children in adult bodies. 16, I forgive my exes even though I wish they would all go to Texas and stay there. Texas is not a place I ever wish to return to. especially if they are banished there. 17. I forgive my relatives for shit talking on me every chance they get because they are so superior in their ways and minds. Not. 18. I forgive my sister-in-law for being a huge C word to me when she was alive, and I forgive her for taking her sorry to the grave. 19. I forgive my heart for being broken in my body and for breaking down as I am not immortal. 20. I forgive God for giving me no understanding at an early age of how to love myself. And that was page 69.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
That-
that was
That's
good.
fire.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't want to just send my exes. Can we just send all the predators and assholes to Texas and they just have to sit there and sweat and never do anything else but have to dwell on the fact that they're horrible human beings?
Or a
I don't
big
know, Biden, if
barge.
you're
Was trying to like separate and be its own country or something, right? We should let them do that.
I'm okay with sending assholes to Texas. I'm really fine.
Because they have their own, it's another way of life down there. And I think they should, if they don't want to be a part of the United States anymore, I think they should just go off and go ahead and just go do that.
I'm perfectly fine. I've been to Texas once. They discriminated against my beanie and I don't need to go back. And that's true.
Well,
I
they
went
deserve to
Not
go.
the
They deserve,
beanie.
yeah, they
Oh,
deserve.
that's
No,
it.
I went to Houston to visit my now ex-girlfriend while she was doing her medical residency at the Texas Children's Hospital. She's not watching this, and if she is, a little creepy. But we've been broken up for a long time. So we went line dancing, which was actually fun. But when I walked in, they made me take the beanie off and said you could only wear trucker hats and cowboy hats. And I said, "Are you joking?" And they said no. So I went
Wow.
and left in the car. Yeah,
Wow.
so fuck Texas.
Down with beanie discrimination.
Yeah, beanie well, let me see. They discriminate against pro-choice. They discriminate against women's bodies. They discriminate against beanies. They discriminate against anyone that's not white. So I don't need anything to do with Texas if
Yeah,
they don't value
right.
people equally there. So Ann Richards is the only good thing to come out of Texas. And well,
Yeah,
and
sometimes I,
B
And
sometimes I
CP
feel,
and
Mays.
B-Wong, and CP
Yeah.
Mays and B-Wong
Yeah.
because we love
sometimes I
Richie.
feel funny
So
saying
Richie
that
and CP
line.
Mays and Ann Richards. It's a great line. Yeah, so CP
I
Mays
like it because
and Ann
I took it
Richards,
from that song.
and that's it.
There's a
No, that's a
song,
good.
All My Exes Go to Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yes,
could just take those people and move them with us. They don't need to
it
be
can
in
become the new
Texas.
Acropolis. We'll just let the straw
Yeah,
to their asses.
exactly.
Anyway, but buy that book. There's so many other amazing poems, not just that one in that book. So go support her. The Chameleon Poetic. That's a beautiful cover by Shane Manor. And check out
Yes.
in April her first karaoke night. I feel bad I won't be able to make it because I will be on vacation then. But I will make the one after that. But I'm happy you're part of the Words Right team now. So welcome aboard. And I think we're going to do a quick round two. So we're just going to close out round one, and then I think we're going to do a quick round two, and hopefully wrap up by 10:30. So here is our executive producer of Word Is Right and publisher of Evergreen Books, Marissa Prada.
Awesome. Thanks, Lizzie. So this is for Tyree Nichols' mom. Black boys deserve to grow old, but black still cracks beneath baton blows that make the ancestors die all over again. 5-on-1, 10 fists and kicks and gurgling cries of bloody blow pop, blows to the body, blows to the head, swollen face and head case concussions. Black still cracks beneath this chloroform criminal justice system and continual police brutality. They beat you back down to death, left on its doorstep just a few houses away from your mother. Key in your pocket, the lock to your freedom, to safety, to live another day. We're all Tyree. Black men deserve to grow old, but when innocence fails, when words fail, when common sense and truth fails, we must acknowledge that silence is death. Where is your humanity? Black still cracks beneath wailing cries, beneath shovel cracking surface of earth, ready to swallow the corpses of countless martyrs, residents in the only promised land, 6 feet under sanctuary now, riddled with mother's tears, remembering the first breath, holding baby, held down and beat. Imagine their grief, their anger. Hold your sons tight today to the dream that your grandchildren will know their fathers, will be able to watch them grow up and become grandparents. So they don't become hashtags, so they don't become murals. I'm so sorry that your name will always be remembered for this. We're all Tyree. No justice, no peace. Comfort does not come with caskets. Racket of radical, out of control enforcers of the so-called law. Does it count at the burial if your baby is so broken and swollen you can't recognize them? Al Sharpton is too old for this shit. The Rodney Kings, the Dr. Kings, to fall in the same place at 29 years old, same podium, same speech, creating old dreams of peace, police body cams, gospel gods cams, so there's a record of the cracked concrete beneath broken Black men and the tears of mourners in a place where not even God dares to believe in peace anymore. Without an uprising, there is nothing. Silence is death. Black lives matter because they matter to me. We're all Tyree. Home.
Thank you, Marcia.
Wow,
Very
moving,
powerful
very
and moving. And
powerful.
there was a line, I mean, there were a lot of lines, but the one that resonated with me most, the bar that resonated most was so they don't become hashtags. That
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of virtue signaling in this world. And it's not okay. And we can't just do hashtags and we can't just
yeah,
repost
we need to
memes.
make a
And
difference, man.
you actually have to talk about it. I feel it's weird that I'm talking about posting open mic right now while the State of the Union is happening. So I hope everyone watches that later on the replay, but we need to, I mean, it needs to stop. There are innocent people being murdered just because of their identities, just because of the color of their skin, and no other reason. And it's unacceptable. It is an incredibly
It's disgusting.
major, disgusting,
Straight up.
major problem in this country more than anywhere. And it doesn't stop. So instead of just hashtagging or reposting, actually have the conversations. Don't put all the work on the people of color. We can't do that to them, but we have to help and be their allies, so that we don't have to create another hashtag. Another parent doesn't have to bury their child solely because of their identity. So thank you, Marissa, for
Yeah,
reading that
thank you for that.
and
That was
writing it. We Red or Green Books is putting out an anthology later this year, American Graveyard, which talks about all this. So please check out Red or Green Books and the anthology to learn more about that. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna do a quick round two. And ask all the artists here to just do one poem each, hopefully under 2 minutes. I'm gonna drop the current list one more time. If you do not want to read in the second round, just send a message to me and I'll take you off. But on deck right now, we're gonna bring back Christopher Moore. But starting us off for round two, please welcome back Nimosin.
Thank you. I'm just going to read 2 micropoems. One I just wrote in Thomas's workshop. The summer rain smells like concrete, Or maybe it's the concrete that smells like rain. And then it stops. There's a sudden chill even in the blistering heat. The silence rumbles till it's roaring. There's fear on the wind, and the green clouds fly diagonally, sped up in the sky. And then the second one, I can't be nobody forever. I can't find a light while I'm hiding, living in the crater of my once upon a time. Thank you.
Yeah, Nemo.
Woo!
And thank you, Lizzie, for the space. It's been a great
Oh.
evening.
Thank you, Nemo. Thank you for coming through with all your powerful poetry tonight. It was beautiful, and I'm happy you were able to create them in Thomas's space earlier this evening. It's wonderful when we can share energies and connect our words with each other. Like I said earlier, give him a follow, Nemo _Zoom _words, where his book is and everything he does with real poets in the community. And check him out March 25th here for Rich Boucher, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Word is right. They're going to have a fabulous double feature. So I'm excited for that. Thank you, Nemo. All right. And give your puppy a big hug for me because he's got the cutest little puppy in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's so cute. Wally's so cute. All right. On deck, we got Nick P. But please welcome back to the mic now, Chris Moore.
Okay. My last poem for the night is I think I did this in Nick's workshop last week. Trying to remember. I think you were the one that did the African American history prompt, right? I believe so.
Correct. That was the
Yeah.
second prompt. Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I get so many prompts. I'm like, okay, where did I get this one from? So as some of you know, I'm a major in history, and I'm currently doing my undergraduate thesis, and I'm doing it on African Americans in the military. So I'm doing it on the 54th Massachusetts and also another regiment from another war. So this is about a sergeant, the first sergeant major, African American sergeant major during the Civil War, William H. Carney. He proved his leadership in the 54th, had family still in bondage when he served because he was a runaway slave, given his major stripes from Shaw, and was the unofficial regiment leader. Colonel Shaw promised no African American commissioned officers to a War Department that was skeptical of Afro American soldiers, but made Carney a sergeant major after the assaulting Fort Wagner in 1863. He wouldn't be given the Medal of Honor for this until May 23rd, 1900, 37 years after attacking the Confederate fort. Carney's story lived on after his death, carrying on his story from slavery to great honor. That's all I got tonight.
And it was more than enough. I love history. It was one of my favorite subjects in school. I enjoyed reading many novels and biographies. So thank you for bringing that and for being in our space. Check out his book, check out his podcast, check out his show featuring Kara Morrison tomorrow night. Back here again. Word is right, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There is an open mic and that amazing feature, KR, and you don't want to miss it. So thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, and funny enough, that same thesis that I'm working on, the other African American regiment I'm doing is from World War One, and they were so ferocious in France that the Germans were actually so scared of them. They called them Black Devils, but it was in German Kreuzer something. I forget the whole German pronunciation, but they called them that because they were terrified of them because of how ferociously they attacked the Germans.
Oh, that's cool. My grandmother, if she were here, would be able to tell us the pronunciation of that because she spoke German fluently. That's very cool. And I think Chris also shout out to Shane Manor who gave his updated podcast a new poster. I love it with the Robin Hood hat on the microphone. So it's very cool.
A lot better than what I could have done.
I like
I'm
the
not an
old one
artist.
too, but Shane I like the old one too, but Shane just added her amazing Shane touch to it as she goes.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
incredible.
It's very cool. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So awesome job, Shane. Thank you, Chris. We'll check it. We'll be at his my with KR tomorrow night. All right. A couple more artists this evening on deck. We got Thomas. But back to the mic now. My twisted twin, Nick T.
All right, Lizzie, I'm back again. I have a question though. Do you want another one from the book, or do you want a poem about Satchel Paige?
I seriously thought you were gonna ask me where the fridge was.
I have a new name for that for the next fridge. Giacomo.
Oh,
Giacomo.
Oh.
Giacomo?
Giacomo, yes.
Giacomo, I like it.
Like from Thumbelina?
I mean, if you want to think that way, I was like, that's actually like from a character in the new Pokemon game, but okay, sure.
Oh, I don't play Pokemon, but like when I heard Giacomo, I think of Thumbelina, but that's cool. It can be Pokemon
Whatever
and
the case may
Thumbelina.
be.
Okay, so the fridge, or is that the freezer? Because the fridge is Kiki.
Oh yeah, so
So the
Giacomo
freezer,
could be
so
the
the
freezer.
freezer,
Okay.
is that the freezer, Giacomo?
Giacomo could be the freezer, yes.
Okay. Well, I will. I'm on Long Island right now, but when I go back to Manhattan next week, I will say hi to Giacomo through you.
Awesome. Sweet. So,
We're
go ahead.
we're very into fridges and freezers here. If the word is right.
Very much so. We like to have our food preserved properly and everything, so we're
Yeah.
good. Yes.
What was your actual question?
My actual question was, do you want another poem from the book, or do you want a poem about Satchel Paige?
As much as I love your book, I want to hear the one about Satchel Paige.
All right, bet. All right, here we go. This one is called No Page Left Unturned. When it comes to Leroy, or better known as Satchel Paige, his page was going to be written. From a young age, he fell in love with baseball. He went to the Negro League instead of the major leagues. Wasn't until 1948 that he pitched in that very major leagues. Made the World Series too. Was 42 at the time, his age the same number as Jackie Robinson. Brought Cleveland hope. Ended up being the oldest to debut, had a career that spanned 5 decades of brilliance until he was 59. A record to this day, he did it all. He even made names for his pitches. Midnight Rider and Trouble Ball were some. They said they were fastballs, but he still completed the game. He was one of the best ever. The stats don't tell the story. Joe DiMaggio said he was the best he'd ever faced. Cooperstown has a statue to honor him in his name. He went all over, too. From Baltimore to New York, Bismarck to Memphis, Cleveland to Kansas City, even went to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. He traveled many miles, over 1,000 strikeouts, over 100 wins, even saved a few games, too. He would have been someone I would have loved to watch. Videos don't give him justice. You just had to be there. He passed in 1982 and was inducted into the Hall of Fame 11 years earlier. He was simply an artist of a pitcher. Satchel Paige lives on as a great, one of the best ever.
Yeah, buddy.
Was typing it in the chat. Artist of a picture. I love
Yeah.
that. Beautiful. Do you want to? If you want to read one from your book, we still have a little time.
Are you sure? I don't want to just take like from everyone else, you know?
I'm gonna stay. Well, I mean, unless we finish up before 10:30, I'm willing to hang on till 10:30. So if everyone wants to do two, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll do a quickie then. From the book, The Definition of Love. What is love to me? A feeling of nervousness and mending yourself and others. Love isn't a cut or to hurt you and others. Should be healing touch. Love is vanquisher. Love conquers hatred each time. and encapsulates all. Love is mutual. Like flowers, we should bloom, we should blossom. A relationship. Love is the right way to reconcile with yourself and other people. That's my quickie.
It was a great quickie. Thank you,
Yeah,
Nick.
awesome.
Get that book.
Love quickies are always the best, right?
Hey, sometimes that's all you need.
They are, yes.
Um,
I agree.
But the whole book is not a quickie. It's a beautiful read. Please buy Adverse's reaction from him. He's part of the next 10 Federing books. And check out his feature coming up that he mentioned. Check out his first and third Wednesdays of the month at Where's Right. And just you can follow him on IG, The Real Nick P, where all that will be available to learn more about. So thank you, Nikki. Love you.
Thank you, Lizzie. Love you too. Back at you. I'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I'll text you. I'm trying to make it. All right. Cool. I lost my place. Where is this? Where? Oh, there it is. Okay, on deck we have Terry Rose, but up to the mic again. Please welcome back from Open Minds, Open Mic, Thomas.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, you inspired me with the love one, so I'm actually gonna go with two love poems. This one is called I Am Love. Looking down from above, I am light, I am love. Heart chakra open, energies flowing. Inhale the beauty, exhale the soothing. Smile from the singularity. Eyes wide, full of clarity. Seeing beyond the masks. Into the soul my gaze grasps. I feel love for all, large and small. No judgment, no prejudice. My love transcends it all. Nature is the greatest artist, creation seemingly flawless, goddesses and gods, smiles and nods, blessings, they're sparing, no worries, just caring, staring into the light, my soul takes flight, surrounded by love, a joy from above. And then this next one is The Last Adam, and it's actually was a two-part piece with my wife the first evening, and this is The Last Adam, ATOM. And I always love doing this because she always gives me a kiss afterwards, so that's why I'm reading this. Feeling crazy, craving the creative crevices of your brain, baby. Am I insane? Maybe. Thanks for saving me. It's absolutely fucking amazing how you float around the 3D space we seem to be trapped in. But I'm laughing every time we break into the next plane of being. It's beginning to be so frequency. I think if we push a little harder, we can secretly become the astral beings we see in these higher realms. Is that DMT? May I please have a smell? Fuck it. Let me puff it till my lungs swell. Holding, holding, holding. Oh hell, I just broke through to heaven. Now I'm laughing with the elves. Mother Gaia sharing knowledge of the past incarnations of our love, knowing it'll never pass. Forever together, even we after we gasp for our last bit of air. Our souls release the grasp we had on this physical form. Reborn, it won't be long till we can keep each other warm once more. You're my favorite soul. It's always been you that I adore. Sworn to love and protect you until the last atom is torn apart and the universe turns dark. It'll be just you and I, beaming through space as pure love and light. You know I'm right, right by your side for the rest of time, 'cause I am yours and you are mine. Thank y'all.
Oh, that was lovely, Thomas. And it's almost Valentine's Day, so it's very fitting. Well, say hi to your beautiful wife for us.
We
Thank
actually
you
met
for
on
being here.
Valentine's Day in person. We met online, and then after about a year and a half of talking, I flew up to Calgary and took her to Banff for a week for Valentine's Day and asked her to be my girlfriend, and then we got married.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
I
cool.
love that. That's beautiful. Oh, maybe when I'll get to Calgary, I'll meet a nice Canadian girl. Anyway, thank you. Also at the end of the night, after we do our I statement, we do a beanie blessing. Would you like to read that for us tonight?
Yeah, I'm so down for it. Just shoot it to me in a message or something.
Yeah, I will shoot it. If I can attach it in the chat, I will. Otherwise, I'll screen share it. But thank you. I'll let you know when we're ready for that. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, you're
All
welcome,
right, we
princess.
got. Thanks, Thomas. All right, we got two more poets this evening. We're gonna close out with Marissa Prada before we do our I statement and our beanie blessing. But please welcome back to the mic now, Terry Rose Tristan.
Okay, out of the book, page 44. This is erotica. Winter is coming. The white march down of my pillowcase feathers float above my head, and as I peek below my waist, there is a man carving out tongue pressure. He heaped mouthfuls of pleasure. I was plowed up and around him. So easily he staked his claim on my ever-loving mound. I do not envy the industriousness of his hot muscled past. But then imagine feeling my heartbeat alive, like a dam being torn down by this irreverent beaver. Hard at work in my river, imagine the whole day tongue sore and beaming with accomplishment. As the dawn overtakes us with heavy breathing and satisfying sighs, he lingers between my thighs, swimming inside my body. He thrusts to answer my ever beckoning calls. To hidden places, he eagerly fills every cavity in me. His spirit yelped as he released. Giving up his ghost was my greatest pleasure.
Yeah, we got a little spicy here at Deadpan Dope. Speaking of erotica, you can find Journey Touching Tongues anthology, Women's Rock anthology, myself, Marissa Prada. We're in that flagship anthology of Evergreen Books. So check all that out. Chameleon Poetica, and catch her karaoke show on last Saturdays starting in April here at Words Right. Thanks, Terry.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. We're going to have one more artist this evening before we do our I statement and our beanie blessing, and it's our executive producer, Marissa Prada.
I'm so excited that Terry Rose is coming here. We are bringing 4 new shows to Word is Right. 3, if not all 4, will be launching in February, with the exception Terry Rose's will be launching in April. But yeah, it's so exciting. So every night of the week now is officially booked. Jane's Spoken Words show starts soon. Matt Wall's show starts soon, and Arsene's show is starting soon. So we got lots of amazing poets. I think that makes it like 20, at least 20 now are here. So we're super excited to house all of them. All right. I wrote this today in the Rudy Francisco workshop. For those who didn't make it, oh, you guys should have gone. It was a great workshop. Free fingers. My fingers have never known freedom. My hands move at the speed of thought, like they thrive on the Audubon. Certainly they own me. And these keys that clack out invasive, intrusive thoughts, I will never get anyone to print. Books are a benign revolution. They burn to keep warm their hate that crash courses through this nation, afraid of its reflection, sicker every day, afraid of its diagnosis just rotting away. Time to amputate the hate. Amplify the love that binds us perfectly to the page. Discover truth in poetry books with aging color spots from tears, dried residue marks where martyrs exist now, are read now, in keystrokes, ink strokes, strokes of genius from pens of poets and our undying faith in change. That tomorrow we will stop burying our beloved children, husbands, sons, daughters, friends, family. My hand be damned cramps, but I run her game now. Demand she do better, get stronger, stop feeling the pain and just write one more word. one more line, one more stanza, one more poem, one more book for one more day of revolution. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Marissa. Glad you could participate in that workshop today. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you to everyone that performed tonight and shared an offering and for being in our space. It was great to hear and see everyone. As we do, at the end of Deadpan Dope every time, I do an I statement with y'all. So let me do my screen share. We're on the struggle bus tonight, friends. It's all good. All right, here is tonight's I statement. I am nervous because I don't know a single person on this planet that doesn't have any nervous in their body. It's normal. It's fine. We work through it. We need it, right? To keep us going. Keep an eye out. We need and don't need in this world. Anyone ever tells you don't get nervous about things, they are 100% lying, and you should not want anything to do with them. So if you're not familiar with how to construct an I statement, and you don't have to do it tradition, it's just homework. Bring it for yourself. I'll drop the link in the chat after. Okay, it's just something I made on Canva. If you want to make it a poem or just some free writing, that's fine. But if you want to do a traditional I statement, this is how we generally do it. I feel, we choose 2 words, right? 2 emotions. Nervous, if you want it to be one of them. When and because. So I feel when because, right? Helps evoke our feelings. Okay. These are just some common errors, but it's okay if we use them. Starting that or like. We try to avoid you statements because this is about I, not putting this on the other person or object. It's okay. We're learning, right? Okay, and that's our feelings wheel. Many feelings, right? Nervous came from one of them. So when I put these I statements together, I just simply go to the feelings wheel and go to where I feel gravitated. Okay, but there's positive, there's negative, there's in between, and none of them are right or wrong. None of our feelings are bad. They help us evolve. But it's okay that we talk about what makes us nervous, what makes us anxious. It's a totally normal thing. So I'm going to drop that in the chat for y'all, and I will also drop it on my social media. For later when I do that, when I post it. But here it is now. If you want to hang on to that. It's been a beautiful night. Thank you to everyone for sharing space with us. As I said earlier, Thomas is going to close us out with our Beanie blessing. He is of course a member of the Beanie Mafia. So take it away, Thomas.
All right. Hopefully I don't butcher this. This is my first time hearing it because it's my first time here with you.
You
And
will
I had
not
a
butcher it.
wonderful time. I had a wonderful time. Like, yo, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Lizzie, for hosting this beautiful space. Thank you for Marissa for everything you do. Yeah, thank you, poets, for just for being who you are. So here's Beanie Blessings. We close out our time together, staring up at the same sky. Whether the sun kisses down on your gentle face, the cotton candy clouds begin to swirl in the early evening, the crescent moon fades in as the constellations begin to dance throughout the night, we all look up at the same sky. Thank you for blessing the sky, soil beneath our feet, our family with your presence and art. Thank you for taking the time to create. Thank you for holding space. May you squirt out poems kitty style in dreamland. May we always have beanies to keep us warm and stylish. This has been the Deadpan Dope Tuesday open mic with The Word Is Right, hosted by none other than Deadpan Lizzie, the beanie goddess herself. On behalf of our community, I, Thomas Open Minds, bid you adieu. Until next time, many beanie blessings to you.